Okay, we are ready to begin. Coach will give an opening statement and we'll take your questions. Please raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you.
Well, what a neat opportunity that we have in front of us, and just had a great practice this morning. Got a good sweat in the arena. Got up a whole bunch of shots. Kids are really, really excited. But this is we've been grinding 10 months to hopefully have a chance to be in this position, and we're really excited about tomorrow and to get out there and compete against Notre Dame.
We'll start here on the aisle.
Coach Barry Lewis with TCU on SI. What did you learn from the two Baylor championship games that's helped you prepare this week to be able to beat a team again that you beat earlier in the season?
Yeah, for sure. Those Baylor games were high stakes. Both of them had championship on the line. One was for a league title, one was for a conference tournament championship. And so that was two different situations, winner take all. And this group has delivered in those moments all throughout the season. And so tomorrow's another one of those big opportunities. But this group, to get to this point, to be 33-3, they have delivered on the big stage and in the big moments.
To the left.
Stephen Johnson, Fort Worth Star Telegram. Mark, Sedona had 20-20 in their first matchup. How important is it going to be to get another type of performance like that from her tomorrow?
Well, let's make sure she does that again. She was incredible in that game, impacted the game all over the court. And she's so unique. She has the ability to have a 20-20 on any given night. And we're going to need just an incredible performance from Sedona tomorrow. And again, she is one of the most unique players in college basketball because of the way she impacts the game on both sides of the ball.
Right here to your right.
Hey, Coach. Doug Feinberg, the Associated Press. Two questions for you. The first one is, how much do you watch that first game tape, knowing they were missing their two of their post players? How much can you glean from that for tomorrow?
Great question. You definitely go back and scrub it and study it. But that was a long time ago. Both of us are a lot different than then. But it's just good to go back and see defensively what we were trying to do and how you want to tweak it and change it. And then offensively, just studying the stuff. So there's some stuff you can take away from it, but it's really a new season that's so long ago, the journey of their season and having some of their main players back. And they're playing really good basketball. So we've done both. We've studied that game and scrubbed it, and then we've gone back and studied their last 5 games to get to this point, to make sure we have a good understanding of what they're doing now, what they're trying to do. So I think we have a good game plan and a really good understanding of where they're at right now.
And the other one is just, you guys seem to be the poster child of using the transfer portal with so many players that you've added that have obviously been huge for you. Is this sort of the new way that women's basketball is going, that find people in the portal as opposed to looking to high school kids to recruit to go that route?
Yeah, for sure. Great question. I can't speak on other programs. I can speak on our journey. Inheriting a 1-17 team, it's really hard to win with high school kids. You're in such a deep hole. You got to get old and you got to get talented, and you got to do that quickly. And so for us, I think it's 12 portal players. We've signed 6 last year and 6 this year. And between those two classes, we've been able to assemble one of the best teams in the country. And it didn't take long to do that. And that's where the portal has changed college athletics. And so I'm not saying that's the only way that you need to do it. That way has worked for us to get the program up and running. We have some high school kids coming in next season that we signed. And so that blend, but I think the portal's not going away. I do think our program, to be able to, it's really hard to take kids out of the portal and get them to become really efficient basketball team and to get a great locker room. And I think we've been able to do that as well as anybody in the country. And we'll continue to do that. And so obviously the portal's open now. So as we're going through March Madness, we're also navigating the portal and the players that are in that, and making sure we continue to add the right pieces. And our staff works really hard to try to get the basketball piece right, but also try to just get the personality and the locker room right. Yeah, it'll be fun to see what we can do in this next cycle.
Far right.
Here. Ben Pickman from The Athletic. You know, when you think back to your time at Oregon or Oregon State, like, are there pieces of advice or moments or conversations that, I don't know, you've reflected on that help inform how you guys are preparing for, you know, this Sweet 16 run or being in the second weekend of an NCAA tournament?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is my fifth Sweet 16 that I've been able to be a part of. And I mean, probably the greatest advice, it's so fun and exciting. You're at the pinnacle of your sport, and there's distractions everywhere. You have to stay locked in and block out those things and keep the main thing the main thing. It's so easy because it's just so cool to be in this moment, especially for our school and our program. It's the first time ever, right? So you want to enjoy the moment. Because it is really, really special, and it's really hard to get to this point of the season. But from getting to do it a bunch of times, you have to stay locked in. And we're old, and we have a group of kids that this is their last go-around. It's their last chance to make a deep run. And so their maturity, their focus level of understanding the moment has been incredible. And really this whole season, they have been so locked in. And so that's one of the things I'm excited for them and know they'll be ready for tomorrow.
To the left, right here.
I feel like Taylor could be an X factor for you guys tomorrow. I know minutes could be tight, but when she is on the floor, what are some things you can do to kind of get her going and kind of maximize her minutes on the floor?
Yeah, Taylor's been great all season, and is such a huge part of it. It's almost like she is one of the six starters that we've alluded to kind of all throughout the season. And her and Donovan have gone in and out, and Agnes have all collectively had such a huge role. And so, you know, to win tomorrow, you're going to need everybody. And so Taylor's so versatile. She has the ability to really shoot it and make plays off the bounce for us. And then defensively, she's long. And you know, the first time we played these guys, Taylor did a tremendous job defensively. So I know she's ready. And again, she's another veteran. She was, you know, I think it was Elite Eight. All these kids have played in so many March Madnesses. I think last year with USC had a deep run and played an important role. So she'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Cassandra Negley, Yahoo Sports. You had kind of touched on the difficulties of bringing in a transfer class that large. How did you and your coaching staff approach that? Was there a learning curve that you learned last year, and is it different from bringing in a six-person freshman class? Yeah, for sure. Great, really good question. There's a huge difference between six portal kids and six freshmen. You know, the portal and a lot of the kids we brought in are 20, 21, 22 years old. Your freshmen are just moving away from home for the first time and trying to figure out college life and the grind of college athletics. And the portal kids have been there, done that. They understand what they need to do and what they're signing up for. And so it is really tricky in regards to, and we value culture. I think in the portal era, the best thing I could say with how we've navigated the portal is we have doubled down on culture. We've doubled down on team building activities and investing in that group. You get 9 months together, and you can't. It's so hard. You can't just throw a group of people, whether it's basketball or something else, together and expect it to magically work. You have to truly pour into that group, and so we did all sorts of stuff. During the summertime and in the fall, and team retreats and team meals and small groups to make sure we build continuity, that there's true relationships that are established. And that process takes time. That's not a, go out on one Saturday as a group and all of a sudden they become a family. And so we've been very intentional
with this portal and how we can have a great culture in locker room. And so it is 6 portal kids and 6 freshmen are a completely different process. And we had the number 1 class in the country at Oregon when we had 6 kids that were all freshmen. And so it's been neat to see the journey of that, what that looks like, and then the journey of what the portal looks like. But we've navigated both landscapes really well.
Hi, here, Alanis Timms with the AP. Kind of sticking on that relationship building front, wanted to ask about Hailey Van Lith. We've been able to watch her throughout her college career, but I'm curious, who was the Hailey that you first got to know when she first got to your program, and who has she kind of become today in this tournament?
Yeah, man, you guys got great questions today. It's just been neat to see the whole evolution, and really, I've known the Hailey since she was 15. And to watch her whole college journey and to be fully aware of it, and to observe it from the outside, her first 4 years, and understanding her family and her, and then getting one last ride and getting to do it with her. Her evolution, I think there, for good reason, was kind of a wall up when she first got here. And I can't speak for her. My guess was probably there was a little bit of a protection wall that was up. And to see that come down and to see her pour into her teammates and her teammates pour into her, Hailey has just allowed me to really get to know her and coach her. She's been vulnerable with all of us. And once she realized there was a real safe space for her, it's been so neat to watch her blossom. And there's 2 elements to Hailey. There's the basketball piece where she has flourished as a playmaking guard and a point guard, and she broke our single season assist record. She has a chance to break our single season scoring record. So you got to watch Hailey, the true Hailey on the basketball court, be herself. And then there's the Hailey as a leader, as a fun-loving kid, as an incredible competitor. To watch that Hailey emerge and be herself. So this 9-month process and getting to do it with her, and for it to work, you got to be attached at the hip with these portal kids, because it happens so quick. This 9-month process, to have trust and a true relationship, if you can get those right, the basketball piece will take care of itself. So I am so proud of her and happy for her.
Final question right here to the left.
Barry Lewis again. You said to win tomorrow, you're going to need everybody. On Sunday, both Agnes and Donovan just had incredible games. Donovan didn't miss a shot. How do you keep that momentum up and make sure that they're having their best game?
Yeah, I mean, Donovan and Agnes last game to get to this point against Louisville were phenomenal. I think each of them had the best game of the season. But for the people that have followed us, it's not a surprise. When you see how tight and cohesive this group is, the belief they have in each other, the trust for Hailey to have 10 assists and be willing to drive and kick and make the right play so that Agnes and Donald can stick those shots. She's only able to do that because she completely believes in them. And that is this group. There's so much trust on our team right now, and that's been built from the journey of this season. And so our offensive weapons, it's really hard. Every team has tried a different defensive scheme to try to slow this group down. And our group has trusted each other and been able to kind of pick it apart regardless of what that is. And I know Notre Dame's going to have a great game plan, and it's up to us and our staff and our kids to figure that out and be able to make the right play for each other. But I have full confidence that we'll do that tomorrow as well.
Any questions on Zoom? Okay, Coach, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Go Frogs. Good luck. Thank you. Oh, have fun with this trio.
Good luck, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
You all had to love that. I've never seen a coach talk that much before. My God. That was the most informative. I've done 2,000 of these things. I've never heard a coach talk that much. Yeah. Okay, we are ready to begin. Please raise your hand, and one of our mic holders get with you. Start here, front.
Steven Johnson for War Star Telegram. Sedona, you had 20 and 20 that first game. Looking back, what was working for you that game, and how do you replicate that performance tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. Cayman Islands was like our 9th, 10th game maybe. Yeah, super early. But yeah, I mean, we watched a lot of film in that game, and I think, it was crazy when they told me I had 20, 20, and 8 after the game. I didn't really believe it, just because, to me, I thought I played very poorly. I took a lot of shots that I shouldn't have taken, some fadeaways and stuff, and just kind of shying away from contact. And so took it into, that's amazing. It's a baseline. I know how much I've gotten so much better and grown so much since that point in the season. And I just, me kind of knowing like what I am able to do and how much better I can be. And so, yeah, it's cool though. I mean, it was a long time ago, so it's hard to think about that. But yeah, I'm just, going to go out and fight for my team.
Go here to the aisle.
Barry Lewis, TCU on SI. For all of you, but Sedona, continuing what you just said, Olivia Miles said earlier this morning that when she watched that game film, that she cringed watching it again, and that their team has totally changed, and it felt like 10 years ago. How has your team changed since November, and how have you seen the improvement?
Yeah, massively. I mean, we've been through a lot of just, very tough physical games, but games that have really challenged us as a team and how, this growth in the area of beating traps, right? A lot of teams try to junk it up on us and make us, force turnovers. And at that point in the season, we were very, very poor at that. And now we are much more skilled. We've had a lot of practice. And we're a much more mature team. We've had girls like Donovan Hunter, we were watching the shots in the first half, and a lot of shots didn't fall in that game. And now Donovan Hunter is a sniper, right, from 3. Taylor Bigby has made a massive jump in her role and what she's able to do for us. And so we play much better as a team together. We have a lot of just effort from every single person that comes on the floor. And, yeah, we are also a completely different team and have grown so much.
Madison, if you'll continue.
Yeah, I think we're really a whole complete different team at this point. We also watched the film, and I think that not until the second half did it really start kind of clicking for us. I mean, the third quarter we had a really big run, but like Sedona said, we missed a whole bunch of shots that we usually make, and we were turning the ball over at a high clip, and they were able to get out in transition. So I think tomorrow it's going to be a really good battle against two teams who played at the beginning of the season. I mean, it's a whole different game now.
Hailey.
Yeah, it was one of our first games in a neutral location too. Like outside of our first big game together was at home. So I think it was one of those environments where we were learning to play, where we weren't at home, a big time matchup, and we've grown a lot in that area since then.
Go back to the front.
Question for Hailey. You heard the saying, it's hard to beat a team twice, but how do those lessons from playing Baylor 3 different times in 3 different scenarios, do you think that could help you guys for Saturday too?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's hard to beat teams twice and multiple times in a season when you have a tendency to be complacent. And this team, we don't really have an issue with that. We're fine with it being a dogfight every game. We don't hope that we win by 20. We don't hope they miss every shot. Like, we're okay with it being a close game. We know it's going to be a fight, and we're ready to fight. Like, I feel very confident in our mindset. Now, if we make every shot or miss every shot, that's not always in your control, but our mindset is going to be right going into the game.
Go to the left. Right.
Cameron T. with The Athletic. Hailey, for you, Mark was just here talking about maybe early on in your time at TCU, maybe you had a wall up as you were kind of getting adjusted. Kind of what was that process like for you, and when do you remember kind of feeling comfortable, feeling like yourself at TCU?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great time here. It has been a journey, a unique journey in itself for me. When you come, when your past is different than your current situation, you have certain reservations and like preconceived notions about how things should be, and it took me a while to let Coach Campbell in, and I think I couldn't be more grateful for his servant leadership, to where he gave me a ton of grace and allowed me to go through that process of slowly letting him in and helping him understand my mind. It was hard, and even though I put certain numbers up at the beginning of the year, I still didn't really feel like myself, and I was trying to find like who Hailey was, or who I thought that I was. And he was very patient with me. We had a ton of film sessions, personal conversations, and I think what really helped me was he also would share with me like his coaching journey and how he processes it and how he can relate to me in certain ways. And so, I'm very grateful for that relationship. And there definitely was some tough times where we weren't understanding each other, but couldn't be more grateful for who he is as a person to work through that with me.
Right here to the left.
Doug Feinberg, the Associated Press. You three are transfer portal veterans, so to speak. There's almost 1,000 kids in there already for this year's portal. What advice would you give them, having gone through this? And if you had actually a chance to be in control of the portal, are there things you would change to make it better for athletes who do enter it?
I would say in this new era, I mean, right before, rev share and stuff, like, don't go for the money. It's just going to fail. I know a lot of kids are trying to get paid, and as they should. That's how it should be. That's how it always should have been. But be very smart. Pick a place where, we didn't come for money to TCU, and now look where we are, right? And we're so happy. We love playing the game. Our careers have kind of been revived, right, in a sense, and now we'll get to play longer and with more opportunities. Go somewhere where you're happy, where you're loved, where you're seen, where you can grow in your game and be in an environment where you are just loved, right, and given confidence and grace. And but then also get your bag, right? Don't skip on that. It's how you should. It's what you should do. But there's a good mix of it, right? Just don't go for one or the other.
To the left and the middle.
Just for any of you guys, there's, especially with a tough Notre Dame team like you guys saw, and they played a pretty good game the last game they played. Just what have you seen on the scout of them, and especially with that last game, the way they dominated?
I think they're a great team. We kind of know their tendencies and know them a little bit better just because we play them. But obviously, they are a different team. It's a different ball game now. But I just think that they have a whole bunch of skilled guards, skilled guard play. We have to be able to lock them up and play good defense and take care of the ball. I think that's one big thing that they try to do is force turnovers and force kind of chaos off on defense. So we have to take care of the ball and don't let them get out in transition because they're great in transition. So I think that have to play our 5-on-5 game and just be very poised.
Sedona.
Yeah, they are very, very, a different team than us, right? But they also have senior leadership like us, or some, right, with Maddie Westbeld, and she's back. We didn't play against her. And so, it's going to be one possession by one possession, right? We're not thinking of it as a full game. It's when that ball tips off, it's going to be what can we do to get the ball in the bucket and get a stop, right? And every possession will go one at a time and just fight the whole game. We don't want our season to end. We don't want to leave each other to this be over for this ride. And so we're going to fight as hard as we can for 40 minutes straight.
Hailey?
Yeah, like my two buddies up here said. Both teams have stars. Both teams have firepower. It's going to be about toughness. It's going to be about, who wants to practice on Sunday more. And so, I'm excited to see how it plays out. And I think we're willing to accept the challenge of, winning the toughness battle.
All right. To the right front.
Thanks. Michael Vopel, ESPN.com. Hailey, what have you learned both about what sort of guard you are, because you've been in different systems and you've had to adjust to a lot of different things, and what have you learned about what sort of a leader you are based on the different parts of your career and even USA basketball? If you could maybe talk about both those things.
Yeah, at the bottom line, at the end of the day, I think in my DNA, I impact winning. I've played in pretty much every conference, every style of play, all different kinds of teammates, all different kinds of coaches. I've been the old one, I've been the youngest one, I've played at the Olympics. Any environment, I've played in it, and I think I do a pretty good job of helping my team get wins. And that's the name of the game. That's what you're employed to do at the next level, is to help your team win. So I think that in my DNA, that's what I do, and whatever form I have to take to make that happen, I'm at this point in my career, I'm willing to take that form. When I was younger, you're more stubborn, you're not as open-minded, but I've matured, I've grown, and I think I've evolved into someone who just loves to win. So I really think that's my essence.
Any more questions? Anyone on Zoom have questions? Okay, ladies, you're dismissed.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Nobody knows, yeah. Inside joke.